In your small apartment decorating process, have you ever wondered how to decorate your bedroom dresser in a way that's styled but not cluttered, cohesive with your other bedroom decor, not distracting from it, and reflective of your unique personality and overall vibe? Same. So in this video, I am going to bring you along with me as I style my own dresser. And I'm going to do it in 3 different ways and then kind of pick the best one. And if you're new to my channel, my name is Steffi and I'm the creator of the interior style blog Moda Misfit, as well as the online course Small Apartment Styling School, which you can sign up for right now if you would like. The doors are always open now, so I will link to that in the description below if you're interested. And on this channel, I give interior styling tips and small apartment lifestyle inspiration. All right, so now I'm gonna start decorating this dresser in 3 different looks using decor that we already own in this apartment. Now here is the decor I'm working with. I really like to lay almost everything out so that it's really visible, and then I can just sort of start visualizing what can go where on what I'm decorating. So that's a tip. Lay everything out, or at least almost everything. There's always room for grabbing other stuff in your apartment or shopping for more stuff. But I find having a bunch of stuff laid out like this is just very helpful. Now let's start with putting together the first look. So when I look at all of this stuff, this is when I start getting some ideas. So the first idea when I see just sort of what's sitting out here is to put together sort of a witch aesthetic look, which is like super predictable for me because I love the witch aesthetic. So now I'm just gonna start pulling things and putting together this witch aesthetic look. It really just starts with grabbing the things that fit the aesthetic that I'm going for and just putting them where I think they could go. And then once I have the items there, then I'll tweak and make it so that it looks cohesive and aesthetically pleasing. So at this point, it's not about perfection, it's about just grabbing the things that will help tell the visual story that you are trying to tell. So one thing you're seeing me do here is layering. So for example, I don't want this vase to just exist on its own in a vacuum. I want it to feel a part of the visual story. And it just creates more visual interest when you have things layered on top of each other. This isn't quite right yet, but you can just tweak until it feels right. We want the overlap between items. The problem I'm having with this is we're sort of creating a straight line here. And I've said this in videos before, you want to avoid straight lines because they're just not as visually interesting. So what I'm trying to do is create a bit more overlap. Maybe like this. It's funny, I was just talking about not creating straight lines, but then there are some times, like with these crystals, where a straight line actually creates a cool visual statement in itself. There's just something about these crystals in a straight line that I think looks really cool. And so that just goes to show that there really aren't any rules here, just tools. Tools, not rules. See, that's starting to feel right. Now I feel like I need to create a little bit of a sense of height right here. maybe with a taller floral, maybe? Let's see. So now with the height that this floral arrangement brings, things just feel a bit more balanced. And there's an interesting triangle shape being made, which if you've watched any of my videos, I'm all about creating triangles as an easy way to make something look aesthetically pleasing. And I'm pretty happy with this look. It's definitely on the maximalist side, so there's always room to edit down. For example, we can get rid of this. That makes it look a little cleaner. This kind of gigantic floral arrangement is definitely a little extra, I will admit. So, you know, you don't always have to go like super over the top like I tend to do. I would just move this over so you don't have a gaping empty space. All right, so this is kind of more of the minimal version of that. Totally fine. The height that the plant arrangement brings is not required. I just personally like it. I like that myself because I'm just kind of a dramatic person. So I will usually choose the more dramatic option if left to my own devices. And you know what? I am left to my own devices at the moment, so I think this is the final look. It's a lot, it's gloomy, it's witchy, it's dark, and I'm into it. So now moving on to look number 2, I'm approaching it pretty much the same way as last time. I'm looking for little visual stories amongst all these different decor pieces. And something I'm noticing with everything laid out here is little pink moments. So even though I'm not exactly a pink kind of girl, this color repetition is just irresistible to me. And when you factor in this Jose Gonzalez poster, here I'll move it so that it's not catching the light in that way. See how the poster has little pink moments as well. So when I look at this poster and then when I look at the little pink things here, I see an opportunity to tell a pink story. I encourage you to do the same with your decor. You know, when you see all of your decor laid out, just look for the similarities between things. Look at how things can possibly interact with each other, and that is a great way to make it so that your decor looks cohesive together rather than a bunch of clutter of items that don't actually relate to each other. So I'm gonna start with this Jose Gonzalez poster, which we got when we saw him live a few months ago. It was amazing. I love Jose Gonzalez. Comment below if you are a fellow Jose Gonzalez fan. If you're not, please check him out. His music is beautiful. His lyrics are poetry. I am truly a fangirl. So making our dresser something of a shrine to him is something I am all for. This is hard to do one-handed. By the way, I'm totally aware that this frame is the wrong size for this poster. We obviously need to get a new frame for it, but for the purposes of seeing if I even want it on my dresser in the first place, we're just gonna make this work. So from here, I'm gonna just start gathering all the little pink moments. So we got this. Right now, I'm not even thinking about creating a pleasing picture. I just want to see all the pink things here, and then I will arrange from there. Not that I want that to catch fire when this candle is lit, but we're just gonna leave that be for now. This is really pretty. It fell off of one of my faux peony stems, but if you have this kind of issue where one of your faux florals has fallen off, then you can grab something like this and let's see, just plop it on in. All right, I feel like there needs to be more height. Similar to the last look, how I used that big floral arrangement, this look is in need of a similar situation. I need some height. This lamp looks really pretty with this as far as the materials go. I love the bronze with the glass along with this look, but unfortunately, it's just a bunch of little things and then one big thing. You ideally want to avoid that. We want a little bit more balance. So I'm going to find another one of my lamps and see if one of those will work better. All right, so now that we have a lamp right here, sort of filling up that gap, I think I can call this look number 2, which is sort of a black and pink aesthetic. And it's not quite perfect, which nothing ever is, but I feel like this would be a scenario where I would want to go out and buy something new in order to complete this look. But given the decor that I currently have, I think this came together quite nicely. As you can see, we have the pops of pink that are sort of in harmony with each other. And then I also like the black accents coordinating with each other. You know, anytime you can repeat color, that is always a great way to create a cohesive look. When in doubt, just use one color and repeat it a lot. All right, now let's move on to creating look number 3. And again, I'm kind of looking around, seeing if inspiration hits me in terms of color or sort of an overall aesthetic. And one thing I am seeing is I want to incorporate these dried florals that I got from Target. When I look at these, I immediately think of sort of fall vibes, kind of a wholesome cottagecore kind of feeling. So using these dried flowers as my sort of inspiration point, I'm gonna try to go for sort of a vintagey cottagecore kind of look. Look at that amber glass. I am just a sucker for amber glass. See, already we're getting some really nice fall vibes. And I have these little sprigs that are perfect for this smaller vase. So let's put those right there. Now, like I did with the other looks, I definitely want to layer a piece of art with the other stuff. So let's take a look at what we got. So since my visual inspiration is fall, cottagecore, woodsy vintage vibes, let's go full woodsy and grab one of these. Ooh, that is pretty. So I'm really loving the addition of this tray. I recently just got this and I love the vintage glass and just this whole vibe. And it brings a little bit of an elegance to the rustic cottagecore vibes that we're going for. This is about as cozy fall as it gets. One more thing I want to try is I'm just going to move this right here for now. And I really want to incorporate this somehow because I just love this sort of cauldron vase. So I am going to try to lift it with one hand. Oh my God, look at that. I am such a good YouTuber. All right, let's see if this will work. Okay, first of all, we have to move this over a little to make it more balanced. Okay. Ooh. Here's the problem. I feel like if I use that vase, there's no room for this. And I'm really loving this, but I really love that vase. Ooh. We have a conundrum, my friends. Okay, so I think for now, I am gonna go with the cauldron vase. I realized that I could replace that candle with this candle. I mean, let's see what that looks like real quick. All right. Oh, let's see. See, I just don't feel like that. I mean, it kind of works, it does, but compared to this candle, I just feel like this, I really love the simplicity and sophistication of this. So I'm choosing that one. Oh, I really want to use this in here, but there's always the rest of the apartment. Okay. Oop. Tell me in the comments below, do you prefer the cauldron vase or did you like it better when this candle was in the picture? Let me know below and you might influence what I ultimately decide. And I realize this is definitely crowded. And I think a lot of you might think that this is maybe too many items, and same thing with the other looks, specifically look number 1. But again, what can I tell you? I am a maximalist. I like to go kind of over the top. I like to layer a bunch of things and I like to have multiple points of interest. If you're more of a minimalist, then perhaps taking this away, then that actually looks really good. I'm tempted to actually keep it this way, but you know what? I'm gonna stubbornly cling to this pretty little antique style tray. I just cannot help myself. So I think we have look number 3. We have this sort of woodsy, cottagecore, vintagey kind of vibe, and I'm really feeling it. All right, so now it's time to choose between the 3 looks. And out of these 3 dresser decor looks, the look that I am going to choose is look number 3, which is super convenient because I can just leave it here. I swear I did not do that on purpose. I just really love that this is perfect for fall. And I really love the textures that are happening here. So given the fact that this is perfect for the current season, this has got to be the winner. All right, so that was my dresser styling done in 3 different ways, 3 different looks. Let me know in the comments below which was your favorite look. Would you have picked the same one that I picked, or would you have done one of the others? Let me know in the comments below. And remember, your apartment and your dresser is destined to be pretty, and you are pretty powerful.